Okay then, welcome back and welcome to the Digital Classroom KeyDigital webinar series. We appreciate you being here today to learn about our HD over IP system. It's one of the product releases that has helped shape KeyDigital in the year 2016 and also shaping us for a very promising 2017. It's a brand new technology that enables you to create a video matrix out of a network switcher. That's right. You use an IGMP supported Internet Grouping Management Protocol supported network switch, and all you have to do is surround it by transmit units and receive units. Each and every video source is going to get a transmit unit. Each and every video display requires a receive unit, and you're able to create a video distribution switching, matrixing system out of that. So no more cookie cutters for 2017. Leave the cookie cutters at the holiday goodies, hey? Now, so as you see here, there's actually just a total of 4 models. Your transmit units have a non-PoE and a PoE version. Your receive units have a non-PoE and a PoE version. So let's take a look at what makes Enterprise AV by KeyDigital the most ideal choice for your future commercial installations. When it comes down to breaking down the benefits of KeyDigital versus the competition, it's all about the 4 C's, as it turns out: compression, configuration, control, and cost. All right, so those are the 4 benefits. We're going to explain why in a moment here and how and what this means to you. Beginning with compression. You see, KeyDigital Enterprise AV uses H.264 compression standard. The competition is using JPEG 2000 compression standard. You look at this table and you can see that with Enterprise AV, we're sending less than 15 megabits per second per channel at a 1080p system. JPEG 2000 is going to be from 200 to 250 megabits per second per the website of the competition using that compression standard. Now we say per channel. What does that mean? Every transmit and receive is a channel. So if you're going to have a 12 by 36 system or a 12 by 40 system, let's say 12 by 40, that's 52 channel system, okay? Doesn't add up to much when you're less than 15 megabits per second per channel. However, at 250 megabits per second per channel, you can certainly see how this low compression or this low bandwidth compression standard benefits the Enterprise AV system. Now, if you're wondering what that gives you quality-wise, look down at the bottom center of the screen. Oh, hey, everybody, thank you. Hold on one moment. Technical difficulties, sorry about that. Okay, so let's just review here, or let's, in fact, hey, you know, it's the end of the year. I'm gonna go ahead and somebody who took an extra minute or two to get your coffee. So again, welcome everybody. Thank you very much for joining us for today's webinar on Enterprise AV. It's one of the product releases of 2016 that has really helped shape KeyDigital this year, but also positioned us for a very powerful 2017, because it's an all-new technology. Enterprise AV, HD over IP, is a new frontier, if you will. It's further representing the merger of IT and AV using that network cable, that beautiful, simplistic, and oftentimes inexpensive network cable as the bridge between audiovisual and IT. Now you can see this image where you can see what Enterprise AV delivers. You're accustomed to a video matrix being a fixed I/O, 8 in by 8 out, 4 in by 4 out, 16 in by 16 out, and so on. Enterprise AV allows you to create a video distribution or matrix switch out of an IGMP supported network switch. Every video source just needs a transmit unit, and each and every video display just needs a receive unit. The transmits and receives each come in two flavors. There's non-PoE or PoE flavors. It allows you to conserve space and not have to struggle to find space for the power supply if need be on the PoE versions. Completely flexible. So if you want to create a 1:19 video distribution system, you do it with Enterprise AV. If you need to create a 4:20 video matrixing system, you do it with Enterprise AV at a very cost-effective means. And speaking of cost, cost is just one of four of the four C's that are, when we're going to describe to you what makes Enterprise AV the ideal solution for you. It's all about these four C's. Cost is one. We'll save that for the end. It's the ideal offering for your commercial AV, beginning with compression. And now you all can see a table here where we document the bandwidth consumption of each channel of an Enterprise AV system. Enterprise AV uses H.264 compression standard. Compare that with the competition that use JPEG 2000 compression standard. That's going to give you a bandwidth of 200 to 250 megabits per second per channel. Where you see on our table, Enterprise AV H.264 results in less than 15 megabits per second per channel at all times. Now, if you're wondering what the result of a JPEG to an H.264 compressed video signal is, look no further than Netflix. It is what they use. And don't worry, you won't have the buffering at the first few seconds, right? So it's going to be the good quality version of the Netflix there. Now, it's especially important when you're considering building these systems for a commercial installation where you're going to have dozens, if not perhaps even approaching hundreds of channels. What is a channel? A channel is each and every transmit. You just add them up. So if you have a 9:30 system, 9 video inputs and 30 video outputs, then you've got a 39 channel system. Times that by 15 megabits per second, and it's reasonable. Times that by 250 megabits per second, and you can see how the low bandwidth compression standard begins to give a significant benefit. There's other benefits of using a low bandwidth compression. That is, our standard runs are actually exceeding the basic 100 meter network distance limitation. You actually could do 400 feet from the transmit into the network switch and another 400 feet out of the network switch to the receive for a total of 800 feet. If that's not long enough for you, you could use MoCA adapters, your network to coax adapters, to extend up to 1,000 feet. And also Enterprise AV and also enables a very cost-effective point-to-point without a network switch in the middle being used as a basic transmit-receive balance set, if you will. That'll bring us to the next C, configuration. See, KeyDigital is not the only player, as I've alluded to the competition a few times now. We're not the only player in the HD over IP world, okay? There are other competitors out there, and what we've heard in our R&D before releasing this product is that their configuration is not very friendly. The competition will force the integrator to using maybe one or two different brand network switches. Why? Because they have a wizard that auto configures your network switch as needed. Sounds great, right? Sounds convenient? It's not. We've also heard that when that wizard works, whether it's a small system or a large system. It takes approaching 60 minutes plus to do that configuration of the network switch. And on top of that, we've even heard that those wizards, if an additional transmit or receive unit are added to your system, which is, you know, one of the benefits of a video over IP system, right? Because it's flexible, it's not a cookie cutter, as we mentioned. If you add a transmit or a receive, well, then those wizards are likely to jumble up your IP addresses for all of your units, and then you'd have to reprogram your system. What we've wanted to do at KeyDigital here, what we've always done at KeyDigital here, is we've handed the tools over to you, the professional audiovisual contractor. We support any IGMP supported network switch, that's Internet Grouping Management Protocol. Why is IGMP important? Well, this technology is basically one that will overrun your existing network traffic if you don't have an IGMP network switch. Having IGMP is like putting up bumpers in the bowling alley and letting, you know, the first graders go to bowl on the lanes there without worrying about the ball jumping in and out of the gutter. Okay, it keeps everything in a defined lane, and we support any IGMP supported network switch. And instead of going to a wizard where the integrator really has no power over the situation, we have posted on our web page, on any of the 4 product pages for Enterprise AV, you will find the hyperlink to the document documenting our verified network switchers. And it's not only are they verified or not, and what are the models and some of the features, but then as you click that yes hyperlink that you see there, click yes, and it'll jump you right to the setup instructions for that browser. Now, each setup instructions for that router, and each router is only about 3 to 4 pages long, and that's mostly pictures. It's very simple. It doesn't need to take an hour, and it's also very educational for you, again, the audiovisual professional, to learn what you're doing there. So, of course, to configure an IP120 enterprise AV system, the first step is configuring your network switch. The second step is to configure the IP120 products themselves. That uses our KD IP120 PC tool software, yet another download available in the download/specs tab of the product pages for the KD IP120. And it's very simple. You'll plug in your laptop, turn off your wireless antenna, and plug in just a single transmit or receive unit. You do it one by one. Why? Because each transmit has the same default IP address and each receive has the same default IP address. So plugging them all in at once would result in a network conflict. So you plug that one unit in, you open up the KD IP120 PC tool software, and you press what you see in the top right as lettered A, the network scan button. It finds the IP120 device on your network. You double click that device that it's discovered, and you could provide a friendly name. What we see, if you could see my mouse here, go ahead and switch over to a highlighter. You could provide any friendly name you'd like for your transmits. That might be like DirecTV 1, DirecTV 2, Apple TV, laptop, etc. You could set your desired IP address, and they default, all the transmits again default 192.168.1.101, but you could change that outside of the 1 or even outside of 192.168 if you need. You tell us what is the default gateway or the router IP address, and you need to provide a group ID as well, because each IP120 actually has its own grouping protocol, grouping support inside, but we also need the IGMP supported network switch in order to ensure that the other existing network traffic is not ran over like I described before. You will configure them one by one And when you have all the units configured, you'll be able to plug them into the network switch all at once, do another network scan, and you'll see them all there. And you'll press the new switcher button here beneath my mouse, where you could create a file for your network switch telling us how many inputs and outputs there are, and then dragging your receive units to an assigned input number or output number, repeating for the transmits. It's important to provide this assignment. I'll tell you why in a bit here. So then it becomes like a traditional matrix again, doesn't it? Input 1, input 2, input 3, output 1, 2, 3, etc. You don't have to live in that cookie cutter, though, as we show you 12 by 12 here. This could be a 2 by 20 system if you'd like, a 4 by 20 system, a 1 by 19 video distribution system even if you'd like. And after you set it up, you're able to control the video routing in here. We have a selection box for detailed view where you could actually see the friendly names that you've provided, such as DirecTV 1, DirecTV 2 for the sources, and let's say entry monitor and lobby monitor, cafeteria monitor, etc. for the receives. And this is actually a video control panel, a switching control panel here. And this is great, and it's ideal for some of your clients, perhaps not all of them, especially knowing that this is the same software that you can use to reconfigure the setup. And a lot of times you don't want to give that to your end user, but perhaps if you have a corporate client and the IT department is responsible for managing the video networking, you are able to do that in here. But we don't stop there, because KeyDigital is a video, hardware, and a software company. The third C, Control, has many options for us, including the KeyDigital Control app. This is not the Compass Control app. This is a brand new app from KeyDigital that is now supporting not only the enterprise AV system, but all of our app-ready KeyDigital products, all of our new products that are IP controllable. It's perfect for commercial applications on the budget because you could actually create presets. You view those end user names or those user-friendly names. So you could very easily load this onto your iOS device or onto your client's iOS device at a bar restaurant application, church, house of worship, etc. And they can manage it through here, and they can even create presets so that the bar manager in the morning, they know that the matrixing configuration needs to be set a certain way, and then at evening it needs to be changed. Maybe if they're doing a DJ or digital signage, they could create all of those modes very, very easily. And the hope is for KeyDigital's Compass Control and for you, the integrator, whether you're using Compass Control or perhaps something else, that this will be a gateway into a professional control system, because your clients are going to say, you know what, we really like controlling the system off of our smartphone, off of our iOS device. How can we turn on the volume and the lights, etc.? And of course that requires an app to rule them all, such as KeyDigital's Compass Control, where you could have your video switching, your audio volume control, your thermostat, your lighting, your security and surveillance, in addition to your audio-visual, all in one place. It's the most modern assemblage of third-party devices, controlled by the most modern means over the network, but of course also, because we're a hardware company, controlled over IR, infrared, and RS-232. You could see here it's a very rich user environment where there's feedback and the ability to stream RTSP video inside, etc. But just as we've always done here at KeyDigital, just because we have a control system doesn't mean we're forcing you to use it. Third-party control is also a possibility. And once again, that is thanks to the fact that KeyDigital is not only not a one-trick pony. We don't only make video over IP products or HDMI switchers. We also have the control system, and vice versa. We're not only a control system, we have the hardware to go along with it. And so we're able to use the KD MC1000 as an RS-232 gateway so that it can interface receiving the RS-232 from your Crestron, AMX, Extron, RTI, Control4, URC control system into the RS-232 port, and the MC1000 will have a file inside where it knows what is the output 1 and the input 1 assignments, as we discussed earlier, because you're going to be able, I'm going to take a step back here, you're actually able to send the same RS-232 command to this MC1000 to control the enterprise AV as you've been sending for the last 8+ years to control our products. That's right, all of our matrix switchers have had the same standardized control protocol for the matrix switching command for a long time now. So we said, hey, why reinvent the wheel? See, this HD over IP is not simple stuff. And if you gave up your API for your HD over IP system, there's a chance you'd actually also be giving up your product. We didn't want to do that, nor do the other competitors doing HD over IP. That's why the competition limits you to only 1 or 2 options for control via third party, where KeyDigital's enterprise AV says any control system that speaks RS-232 can control us. And in the future, we're also considering some IR method. And in fact, this command that many of you are familiar with, SPO-XX-SIYY, is just one of many commands you could send us, because we recognize that some of you guys have systems installed for greater than 8 years now, perhaps large systems using our MSW 8x4 Pro. If you remember that one, that was the Fat Boy series with the BNC connectors on it. A lot of those systems out there. Still, very, very reliable product. You could actually just plug in your RS-232 from your existing control system into an MC1000, sending us those same commands as well, which were different, and the MC1000 will handle it from there. Now, if you're going to do the third-party control, then it does impose a limitation. You use the IP120 PC tool software to download that file into the MC1000 over the network, but then you are subjected to a limitation of only 512 maximum transmit units. I'm very sorry, ladies and gentlemen. You'll have to keep the systems to a maximum of 512 transmits and 1,024 maximum receives. That's a 1,536 channel system. Hope you don't mind. Kidding, of course. That should be plenty, because enterprise AV, if you think about it, doing it over the network is not just a video distribution and video matrixing system in a house or a large house or a commercial facility, a multi-dwelling unit, a hospitality building. Enterprise AV HD over IP introduces campus-wide integration. Multiple buildings possible. Extremely large facilities using this technology. Now, don't forget the 5th C that we'll add in right now. Clean. Cleanliness is very, very important, isn't it? KeyDigital's 120, IP120 products fit nicely into the RK120 PLT. So typically you're going to have a bunch of transmit units in your rack, right? And you want to have a nice clean way of housing those. You can do that by ordering KD RK120 PLT. It holds I think 12 units across that plate. It's on the website though, so you can double check there in case I'm mistaken. And we also have a rack plate for all of our other current models, current model extenders. So anytime you're using KeyDigital products or KeyDigital extenders in the rack there, use this rack plate, and it's going to make a very, very cost-effective solution and cleanly solution. So that is our other C, isn't it? Cost. Now we don't give costs over the webinars here, but you'll have to go to your KeyDigital distributor to find out more information. But I will say this, that we are approximately 1/3 the cost of the competition. 1/3. And if not 1/3, then let's just say 1/7, okay? Wait, no, excuse me, 2/7. So you'll have to talk to your distributors, but all of these factors together with the H.264 and the low bandwidth consumption, the low cost means of building extremely large systems, is going to make enterprise AV the ideal product for your next commercial video distribution job. So with that said, we'll take a moment to allow you to submit any questions you may have over the GoToMeeting chat panel. Please don't be shy. If it's on your mind, it's probably on someone else's mind as well. Okay, so we have one question that's come in here, and please by all means continue to send them in, or otherwise we're available at tech@keydigital.com for future technical questions. The question is, in a large facility, is it possible to link multiple IGMP supported data switches via fiber to extend the network distances? And yeah, the answer is yes. There are a handful of what we're calling stackable network switches that they extend over a fiber patch or longer than a patch if needed. That's how you get a system that'll be greater than 48 channels on a 48-port network switch. You could stack up those network switches or use use the fiber to go the distance between them. I'm going to go ahead and switch over here to our website where I'm on the I'll just take a jump here to the home page, keydigital.com, and I go to Enterprise AV across the top, or just searching it, products, Enterprise AV, and here we are, IP120. I come to download/specs, and this is where you need to be if it's your first job. You need to go to all these things: unit and system setup. It's the guide for setting up our system. Verified network switches is the guide for setting up your IGMP supported network switch, and the PC tool, which you use to set up our units. And we have a few mentions of just different things, but then when we get into the bulk of the model numbers we see here, for example, the Cisco is stackable. I believe that LINKSYS has actually sent us some updated information. So it is possible. You'll want to check with your network switch manufacturer to ensure that it's that the unit you're specifying for your project does support the IGMP stackable feature, the IGMP network switch. So that's a great question. It's the only one that's come in, so I don't want to hold anybody hostage here, of course. So if you have any questions, again, if it's a technical question, you'll go ahead and email that to tech@keydigital.com. If it is a sales-related question, we have sales@keydigital.com for those inquiries. All right, folks, thanks very much, and you can look for this webinar to be posted on our webpage within the next week or so here, I'd imagine, on the KeyDigital YouTube channel. Look us up. Thanks very much, everybody. Have a great rest of your day.